Hey guys, it's Alejandro Cabrera here. Today we're going to be talking about assessment centers. Assessment centers are used to guide the organizational setting and provide information by evaluating behaviors of potential candidates. There can be a range of factors in an assessment center, from behavior exercises in which observations and records of behaviors are tracked. There can be individual ratings as well as group ratings. The assessment score is called OAR, also known as Overall Assessment Rating. Assessment centers can be used to evaluate individual behaviors and determine how they are doing in terms of work identity. This work identity can be used to make predictions and enable an organizational member to receive promotions and bonuses. Depending on the results of the assessment center, the individual may need development and training. There are 10 important elements to assessment centers. Systematic analysis. An assessment center is used to determine if a job has relevant job constructs. The group behaviors must be observed and must be verifiable in order to be deemed reliable, which leads to job success. Depending on the purpose of the assessment, there will be different analysis that look at different factors. Looking at the complexity of the job as well as how relevant the information is associated with the job that is studied. Behavior classification and multiple assessment components. Behavior observations can be used to understand how an individual is participating towards the exercises and situations. During the behavior simulation exercise, there must be a combination of measures such as interviews, situational judgment tests, and questionnaires. Each assessment component must have been previously tested and be proved reliable and relevant to the organization. This will enable the organization and its participants to understand the full extent of the assessment. Behavior construct and assessors. Both behavior construct and assessment centers go hand in hand in order to create the right job analysis in which it can be measured in a multitude of ways. Assessment centers must also have a variety of observable behaviors that can be assessed by the organization or the assessor. The assessment should be job related. Targeted behavior should be in the simulation exercise to create a point of reference. This point of reference can be assessing the behaviors of group discussions, responses to stress, and face-to-face interactions, just to name a few. An assessor evaluates how an assessee is doing, meaning that they act as a manager and evaluate the different variables of how the participant is performing during the assessment center. The assessor must look at the exercises being used, such as behavior constructs, and assess their own role as the assessor and how the data would be carried out. The assessor should have training to eliminate biases and false ratings. The training should provide a purpose and understanding of the assessment center. They must also be trained on how to give accurate ratings based on the behaviors that they observe. Rating behaviors and evaluating data. When recording and scoring the behaviors of the participants, there has to be a systematic procedure that rates the behaviors observed as well as the timing of the assessment. The assessor should have a checklist in which they take notes and rate the score of the participant. Once the assessments have occurred, there can be a discussion on how they did. Looking at the observations of multiple assessors would be evaluated and taken into account. Once the assessment is fully completed, the organization can determine if the individual will be selected and be a proper fit for the organization. There are a few issues that may arise with the assessment centers. Assessment centers are associated with validation and research, so they can be deemed credible. The validity of some of the assessments do not provide the right validity. The rating scale does not provide a proper validity and can cause ethical issues for the organization. For this reason, it is important that assessors have proper training and knowledge. Overall, organizations should provide the training to their assessors in order to provide the right assessment centers. Overall, I would use assessment centers for the bridge financial advisors, as it will determine if an individual is a good fit for the organization. The company should have trained assessors in order to have success with the assessment centers. It also helped the organization to stay ahead of their competition.